DreamCon, a place for nerds and gamers, cosplayers, fans, devs, artists, voice actors, non-voice actors, but actors, singers, everyone. A place for everyone. So, DreamCon happened this past weekend, and I wanted to do a quick little recap video of DreamCon. Now, I will be posting clips and things like that on socials and maybe include some of those in this video. But in the meantime, I wanted to just make a video and talk about everything. In this video, I'm going to talk about the experience I had at DreamCon. I'm going to talk about my takeaways from DreamCon. I'm going to talk about the funny, the crazy, the weird, okay? Like people asking if it stinks, okay? At the end of the video, I'm going to share my piece on whether I think it's worth it to go to DreamCon. Now, before we get into this video, hi, my name is Christene. I'm a creator, advocator, mom, mental health advocator. I said advocator. I advocate. I am a volunteer with Dames for Games, a nonprofit that spotlights women and femme in gaming. I do a lot of things, okay? I game, I react, I vlog, all the things. And if that's the stuff that you'd like to see, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Okay, so the experience. I came out on Friday. I came out Friday morning. I left Florida at 5 a.m., did a connection in Dallas, from there to Houston, landed around 9 something in the morning. And it was kind of go. Because as soon as I got there, because I was doing panels with YouTube, they had, my partner manager was there from YouTube, so he had my badge. And to meet up with him, as soon as I got to my hotel, I literally had to run 15 minutes to the convention center because after that, they're going to be setting up because the convention was opening up that day. The lines were crazy, okay? There were 2 lines. You had the lines for people who needed to register for their badge, which wrapped all the way from the front door all the way to the side of the building near the highway. And then there was another line for people who already had their badge, and this is where they could come in and scan and everything. I've been going to DreamCon since the last time they were in Arlington, because I went to the Arlington one, then the next year was Austin. I went to Austin a couple times, and then I went to the 2 times in Houston. So that's 5 times I've been going. So I would say that security in the front is getting better. I do really like this year they had the scanning thing. So you had your badge, and then when you came in, you scanned this thing that was there. It stood up. It's not a column. It's not a pillar. It's a thing. that you scan your badge on. That was very, very reminiscent to VidCon, because I've been to VidCon before and they have those very same things at VidCon. When you scan your badge, you scan it when you leave, you scan it when you enter, and it's a way for them to kind of keep track of, I guess, how many people. The exact data I am unaware of, but VidCon has that same thing too. And so I was like, oh, this is cool to see here, Okay, I will have to say that the front door security was so nice. So nice. Oh my gosh. And it was like a welcoming feeling coming in, and you have the people at the front door and they were just they were smiling. No one was like Walmart employee deadpan face. It was literally like, oh, this is fun. I think for them, it might be a fun thing to see all the cosplays and whatnot, but it wasn't like a situation where I felt like people were making fun of us or anything. I just felt like they were also enjoying what was happening, So they were really, really nice this year, opposed to, I remember when I went in Arlington, I had a situation that was extremely uncomfortable for me. But this year, really, really good. So props to the people at the front doors and the exits, okay? So I got my badge, went back to my hotel, took a shower to wash off the airport off of me, and then me and Janet got food at downstairs. There was a Starbucks in the hotel, got food, and then we Ubered to the con, okay? That Uber goes into the weird conversation. We'll talk about that when I get to that thing. But that was a thing. Friday, I didn't have any panels. I did a meetup with the Indie Game Collaborative. Shout out to my creators. So I started a collective of creators that are small and mid creators. It's called the Indie Game Collaborative, and we collaborate together. Right now, we're doing a YouTube partner push. So I did a meetup for them and for Dames for Games, which I've aforementioned, and we were doing the meetup at Black in Gaming. I know there's just so many different collectives all coming together. So Black in Gaming was in the indie game area, and it was an area where indie devs could show their game, and there were a few Black devs that were there from Black in Gaming. So a bunch of my creators came in and we met up there. Now, originally, we were all supposed to meet up together and take pictures. However, remember those lines I told you about? Well, people were waiting in line to get into the convention, right? The convention layout is 3 floors, all right? You have the exhibit hall on the bottom floor. Then the second floor, you have a lot of where the panels were and a lot of activities there. And I think there's also a food court there. And then on the third floor, or is the food court on the third floor? Well, nonetheless, on the third floor, that's where the main stage was. That's where the world stage was, the dream stage, which I think 2 of those might be the same stage. But nonetheless, that's where like the big things were happening up on the third floor. Now, you had to take escalators to go up. I believe that there might have been stairs somewhere. There has to be stairs or it would be a fire safety hazard. So there were stairs somewhere. And then there were elevators. This is where I will say it was a little bit unclear, okay? Because there were some people that I saw that were trying to take the elevators up and they were turned away from the elevators. So I don't know if those were reserved for certain people, but I also heard somebody say, no, you just go up to the elevators and you go up. So I don't know. It was kind of mixed on whether you could use the elevators. The escalators were a different thing. So there was a time, at least the first day, where one of them went down. And then to avoid it happening again, there was a security guard by the escalator, just letting people up one at a time. And it was like one every 4 steps. So the line to get up to I think we were on the second floor trying to get to the third floor. And that line was crazy trying to just get to the third floor. So because of all the lines on Friday, instead of it being a one group meetup where we all get together, take pictures and all this stuff, which was what we originally planned at 3 p.m., mind you, it instead was kind of like, I'm going to hang out here at the Black in Gaming area and I'm going to talk to the devs and stuff. And my creators were just trickling in when they could. Okay. Cause some of them also were going to the opening ceremony. So they were waiting for lines for that. So lines were crazy and they did impact our ability to have the meetup originally planned. However, it was still a good experience because a lot of my creators got to come in and we took pictures together. I also introduced them to some of the devs that I was talking to right there in the indie game area, which there were some really fun games. One of them was really cute and I got to interview the dev. So check out a lot of the video content I made will be coming out for Dames for Games. So check them out. Make sure you follow them, Dames for Games. And I got to interview a dev. And then there was this other game where me and this creator's wife were playing this arcade style version of their game because they essentially made 2 different versions. And we kind of got a little competitive because it was like raids and the highest raid was 7 and we were trying to beat that level. And it was definitely something we were like, okay, no, we can do this. And we kept playing and he was like, hey, this has to be the last time we have other people who want to play. So that tells you how fun that was. It was definitely a lot of fun. I really loved being in the Black in Gaming area. Shout out to Black in Gaming. Shout out to the indie devs. Everybody was super, super nice, super friendly. And it was great to talk to the devs about their games, to try out their games, and even seeing the excitement from the other creators that were from the Indie Game Collaborative that came over to that area and were engaging with the other devs and stuff there. So loved. After that, I met up with my friends because I know they had a lot of stuff that they were doing. At the time that I met up with them, Roshi had his panel where it was like the YouTube Trends thing, the one that Mari won. And after that, I was hanging with my friends and we walked the floor. You know, we had people with us, but we walked the floor, the exhibit hall, because that's one of my favorite things when it comes to conventions is the exhibit hall. I love panels. I do love panels and I love being on panels. I love seeing panels and learning and taking information and all that stuff. And sometimes they're fun, but I really, really, really love exhibit halls. I love perusing and walking through and talking to the different owners of the booths. And what was really, really cool is seeing some creators that have like Gigi Murakami. Shout out to Gigi. Girl, I love you so much. I remember I held a workshop, this was years ago, for creators, right? And she came to my workshop and this was before her stuff with Viz and all that stuff. And I love seeing her grow, and she had her own booth there. She's had her booth there for a few years actually, but even seeing the growth of the booth, right? And she was a hot commodity. Shout out to you, Gigi. I love it. And so I got to see her. I got to see Mojo. There were some booths I didn't really get to see because it was a bit of a maze. I will say that. As far as on one hand, it was really cool to see the growth of the exhibit hall, because I remember in Arlington, it was literally a tiny, tiny room, a small room, and it was like 2 aisles. You just walk through the 2 aisles and then you're done, right? And it's been growing each year. At Austin, it was growing, but Houston, this is the biggest it's ever been. They have like the gaming hall adjacent to the exhibit hall, and the exhibit hall, they broke it up into the activation hall and the exhibit hall as two separate things, but there was a booth from McDonald's where they were giving out free food. There were Lids was there, which was really, really cool. And I got to connect with somebody at the Lids booth. So it's like, it was a great opportunity to walk around the booths, to connect. Oh, and they had meet and greets. Girl, they had the Queen Cree Summer. And when I say I fangirled, and I definitely chickened out of of getting to see her. So if you don't know, Dwayne and Janet, they love Marvel Rivals, okay? And then they had a bunch of voice actors from Marvel Rivals at DreamCon. So they had gotten some artwork, and they were talking with each of those voice actors and getting them to sign their stuff, which was really cool. So we were going from literally booth to booth to booth to booth to booth. And then I was like, oh my goodness, there's Cree Summer. I was like, I see her classic pigtail braids. Oh my goodness. And I'm like, she's only missing that hat. And I was just like geeking out. And my friends were laughing at me, but like laughing with, like, in a cute way, not like, oh, you're a nerd, nothing like that. But it was really, really fun. And then when they were like, hey, do you want to wait in line? Because we got really hungry. We were super hungry. And they were like, hey, do you want to wait in line to see her? And I was like, no, it's okay. And then I left because I was super, super hungry. So after that, we ate, which was a lot of fun. It was like this big family dinner, which is one of my favorite things about DreamCon. It feels like camp. So meeting up with all my friends again. It's that time of year where we get to sit at this long table and have like a Passover dinner like experience, and it's just it was everything. Also, the escorts that we had, okay, let me say that better. We had people escorting us around because in order to protect us for safety and to make sure we didn't get mobbed, so we can at least enjoy the con as well, you know, because we have separate things that were like meet and greets. We were stopping and taking pictures with people, but having somebody kind of walk us around helps to make it easier to achieve your goals as a fan of the products and the artwork and the people that are at the con as well, right? So the people that were escorting us, 10 out of 10. I feel like each year they've been pretty great, and this year was another really, really good one. They were just so much fun. Oh my goodness. We'd be talking and like laughing together, like kikiing, like it was just, I loved it. It was such a great vibe. I think Friday was such a like happy-go-lucky, stars all around, wonderful experience. Ooh. Sorry. We ate at one of my favorite restaurants in Houston. My current, because this can change, my current number one restaurant to eat at in Houston, downtown Houston, I will be specific, downtown Houston, is Grotto. It's literally attached to the convention center, and that braised beef is everything, okay? It is everything. Girl, during this weekend, I went there 2 times. All right. First time I had the braised beef with the gnocchi. All right. Second time I went there, I had, oh Lord, what was the name of the pasta? There was one of the pastas that they had. It's like had a little spice to it. It was a little orangey. It was creamy, and it was supposed to come with chicken. And I subbed that chicken out for that braised beef. Girl, when I tell you, ooh, Lord, on my mama, on my hood. Oh, if that was a person, I would, you know what? Actually, let me not say what I would do. Okay, keep it family friendly. Nonetheless, it was delicious. All right. Also, they have these garlic knots that are literally one of the best garlic knots that I've ever had. It comes in second place to me. First place is this place in Tampa called New York Pizza. Their garlic knots are just doughy and yeasty and delicious. The Grotto garlic knots are so divine. Oh my gosh, so good. Even when the second time I went there, I went with picky eaters, and they liked the garlic knots were yes, and my pasta was definitely a yes. It was very cozy, very like, oh, it's just like healing for your soul and everything. Oh, it was delectable. I just wanted to, again, don't say what you would do. Let's focus. All right. But yes, that's where we ate on Friday. After that, girl, I went back to the hotel and washed the makeup off my face, cozied up with my Steam Deck playing Coral Island. Shout out to my girl Leash who bought me the game, and I've been locked in ever since she bought it for me. Like, I think Wednesday or Thursday or something, like a few days ago, and I have been obsessed. I have been literally obsessed. I've been playing that game every second I can. So that was my Friday. My friends did go out. I did not go out. I've been kind of on a ban with going out since the one time I fell in a parking lot wrong. But you know, we still had fun. We still had fun. Lovely time with everybody. Amazing, wonderful, loved it. Day 2, Saturday. Woke up, took a shower, got breakfast, went to the convention center because I had a meet with a YouTube exec. So they like to do these roundtable things. And it was me and like 3 or 4 other channels. One was a couple, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 other channels. And we sat down with a YouTube exec and we talked. And I love those roundtables. I went to a couple at VidCon before. This is my 2nd or 3rd one at DreamCon. And they are always a wonderful opportunity to voice concerns, share feedback with people who run the teams that work on certain different products. So these are the people to talk to. And it was a great conversation. Plus being able to connect with other creators that I haven't seen before and some reconnecting with was really, really nice. From there, hopped over to panel number 1, which was at the YouTube Lounge. Shout out to Mog Swamp, shout out to Mari, who were also on the panel with me, and also to Andy, who was our moderator. It was such a great conversation. It was wonderful to have, because, okay, first off, can I say how happy I am for Mari? I freaking love Mari. I remember before she really started streaming, and just seeing her on and owning her point of view on the stage and completely, sincerely just being honest and genuine. Love her down. Okay. She's such a sweet baby girl. I love her. And Mog Swamp, always fun. We've connected. This is our 2nd thing we've done together, I think. One was at VidCon. This one's at DreamCon. And he's so nice, so down to earth, and just so open. And I feel like that is such a wonderful thing to be on a panel with other creators that are open. They will share their point of view and their mindset, even if it differs from the others. And that I feel like is so important. So many times you have creators that just follow the fray and just, oh, whatever they said, that's what I'm gonna say. No, Mog Swamp had a POV, Mari had a POV, I had a POV, and we all sat in different places in our journey as a creator. So to see those different POVs come together and, you know, be able to have those conversations, I really, truly loved. From there, I ran down to the main stage, or ran up to the main stage, actually over, because it was on the same floor. So over to the main stage, did the YouTube championship. What was it? Okay, the name of the panel I'll have on the screen, but it was hosted by Kev on stage. It was me and Nkunim on one team with a surprise special guest. And then we were against Jazz and Legendary J. What they did essentially is pit 2 friend groups against each other. They put me and Nkunim together against his friend Legendary J and my friend Jazz. So that was a lot of fun. It was hosted by Kev on stage, and we had a super surprise, awesome creator, Swoozy, who joined in, and he was team hopping. Okay, he was team hopping, but in the end, it was a lot of fun. And girl, we won. It was such a fun freaking experience. I think the panel was really, really cool, especially how the audience could vote for things, and the audience engagement in it was top tier. And I think they should keep doing things like that for sure to engage the audience into the panel itself. It was so much fun. I got to just have a lot of fun and be silly and just dress up and everything, do a bunch of poses. I did a split. I said split. And it was everything. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. After that, I chilled with my members for the rest of Saturday. So I don't know why this is gonna make me cry. I have a group of members from my community that met in my community, and they are friends. And some of them work at DreamCon now, and some of them started a panel, Lyrical Countdown. It is so fun. Oh, it is so much fun to do. Last year I got to co-host. This year I couldn't because it was running around the same times that I had other panels, but they had their panel, so I got to connect with them. We walked around the exhibit hall. We went to eat at Grotto. Yes. And that's when I got to show them the delicious, delicate delights that the Grotto has. And we took pictures, we shot some videos, did some content. I did some content for Dames for Games. They did some content for Lyrical Countdown so that they can keep promoting it, which is a great, really fun panel. They had a smaller room last year. This year they had even a bigger room and still had people stand because the seats were all packed up where people had to stand around the room. And I feel like a proud mama. Okay. I feel like such a proud mama for my babies. I'm so happy that you guys had the panel. Shout out to Denim, Sebastian, Yanni. Shout out to you guys. I'm really, really excited for things you guys are doing. And also shout out to Destiny, Boo Boo, hold it down. But yeah, it was a really, really fun time to hang with them. And then Sunday was a fast day for me because I had to be at the airport by 12, no later than 12:30, so I could try to check in for my flight. So I ran down to the convention center and was there from like 10:30 to 11:30ish, or actually 10:30 to like 12, to be honest. No. I was there for like about an hour. And during the weekend, actually on Friday, I had lost a part of my camera setup, and it was like a mic adapter, and the tripod that it came with. It just fell out of my pocket and did not get to find it since. I did try to go to Lost and Found, wasn't there. Made a video, and shout out to everybody. I do want to take a second to thank every single person that reshared, that commented, that was boosting for the algorithms to try to get the word out there. And even some people like I passed at the con, they're like, hey, I saw your video. Did you find it yet? Did you find it yet? So thank you for everybody who even had a like any type of concern and cared and spent time commenting, sharing, reposting, boosting, all of those things. I truly, truly am very, very grateful. We did not end up finding it by the end of the weekend, but doing the video was still a really great idea because Tiffy Starchild came to my rescue. Shout out to you, my love. She let me borrow her tripod and little mic stand. So that way, actually her battery pack. That way I could record more content for Dames for Games, which is what I really, really wanted to do since that was something that I was really looking forward to, which was a lot of fun. So you will see those clips. Make sure you keep an eye out. One thing I forgot to say, on Saturday, I went to the Star Search. And when I tell you, I literally sat there and was like, I love us so much. The fact that so many people came out on that stage and performed, everybody was so good, okay? The judges were really, really great at providing feedback, saying, hey, this is what you're good at. This is what you need to work, And I think that really helped to set all of these performers up because the winner gets to open for Party Next Door at Touchgrass TV Music Festival. So it was great to see the talent. One of my babies from the Indie Game Collaborative was performing and auditioned. Even the judges were like, hey, we want to touch base with everybody that auditioned, even if you don't get chosen. And that opportunity to lock in with somebody. One was a songwriter, one is a performer, one is a talent, I was going to say talent inquisitor, like Star Wars. But no, like they do acquisition talent acquisition for festivals and stuff for Touchgrass TV and for other things. So these are the people you want to lock in with because these are the people that can provide guidance and opportunities for what you're trying to work towards. So even if you weren't chosen as the winner, you still have a wonderful opportunity to lock in with some really dope, amazing people and really flourish in what you do. And the fact that is a possibility is just... It makes my heart so happy. It makes my heart so happy. The performances were great. They chose the winner. When he performed, I was like, I think they're going to choose him because of his performance was like ready to be on a concert stage right then and there. So shout out to him. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the winner. Shout out to everybody that auditioned. Shout out to the host, Roxy Hayes. She was a lot of fun. And the judges. So it was such a wonderful experience. And my only regret is that I did not audition to do this. I'm like, I should have sang and stuff and went up there and did something because or at least auditioned to possibly get chosen. But yeah, it was great. It was wonderful. Fast forward to Sunday, I got to record some really fun content. It was a lot of fun because we were in the exhibit hall. I was recording content for Dames for Games and people would pass and be like, I want to do this too. So I got to connect with other creators as well and meet other creators that I've already known, like Rena Mark, who interviewed me for Perception. So make sure you check out his channel. But yeah, it was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. Takeaways. Now, one of my takeaways is that I am in such a better place mentally to receive the love that I receive. And it is a very, very beautiful thing that I do not take for granted. The fact that I got to meet all of you guys is always great. It's always wonderful. But this was one of the first years that my level of anxiety was like extremely low. Normally, I'm like mentally freaking out. I'm like, the thing that used to freak me out is I would hope that anybody that came up to me to take a picture, to say hi, that they walked away not regretting meeting someone they're a fan of. And that was like the most important thing to me. And I would have so much anxiety of like, okay, how did I come off? How did they perceive me? me? How was the experience for them? Was the picture good so that they at least have a good picture? You know, I would rack my brain and I would be too hard on myself and put too much pressure on myself on how I would show up in those moments to make sure that the other person walked away with a great experience. I chilled this DreamCon, and the fact that some of y'all recognize me without my hat, I'm like, oh Lord, my Clark Kent powers are dimming. Because normally, because I'm short, I blend in with the crowd. What helps me stand out is the hat. When I don't have the hat, normally people don't know it's me. I can just walk around and people don't know it's me. Not this con. Y'all know who I am, okay? When I walked around, even to get my badge, I didn't have my hat on yet, and they were someone was like, hey, are you Christene? I was like, oh yeah, I am. Like, I was so surprised that they recognized me. And it happened a few times. It happened at the convention, in the exhibit hall, outside the convention. So the fact that you guys were able to recognize me without it, it does make me happy. It does make me happy. But yeah, meeting you guys elates my heart, inspires me to keep creating content, especially when you guys share your experience. When you're like, hey, I love your content. It makes me so happy to see. Or you recall a moment that you love. I love that. The excitement of the realization, because there were a few people that didn't realize I was standing there. And I think it's because I don't come in with this whole gravitas. Like, I'm Christene. I just maneuver. I walk where I walk. I go where I go. And there were times where, like, I was standing in line to say hi to Tony Weaver. And while I was standing in line, we were like creating content, me and my members. And then the girl in front of us I was like, tapped her shoulder, hey, do you want to create a video together? And then she turned and she's like, oh my gosh, like, that realization that I was standing behind her this whole time in the line was so much fun. There were so many of you guys that didn't know what to say, and you guys are like, I'm so sorry. And it's completely fine. Also, if you say hi and you want a picture, say, hey, can I take a picture? I'll never be mad about that. There were times where people were nervous. You know, they say hi, or I heard this one girl saying, that's Christene right there. And I turned and made eye contact with her and smiled. But I'm not going to say, hey, do you want a picture? Because that's not in my character to do right now. Maybe later in my life, but not right now. So if you want a picture, you have to ask for a picture. You have to say, hey, can I take a picture? And I'll be like, yeah, sure, let's take a picture. Don't expect me to just offer it, and it's not because I don't want a picture. I do want a picture, but I definitely do not want to be in a situation where I'm like, hey, you want a picture? And the person's like, no, why would I want a picture? Like, I'm not ready for that. I've healed a lot mentally, but I'm not ready for that. Not ready for that at all. Also, like, meeting you guys, that takeaway is always a wonderful experience, inspiring, motivating, reaffirming, reassuring, everything. It's everything. So anytime you go to these types of conventions, you see me, say hi, give me a hug, take a picture, let's do it. Okay. When it comes to my friends, it is like camp again. Like I said, like, my friends and mutuals in this space, it is so much fun, especially at DreamCon. When we're in passing, I would have to say that me and my friends, even in the past couple years since I've been going to DreamCon, we've been growing and getting more and more busy each convention. So it's kind of like a pop in or a pass through of like saying hi. And it's very different from my first year. My first year, I was able to just hang with my friends and stay with them locked in the whole entire time. Not the case, because we have differing panels at the same time, differing events and things like that, and also differing things that we wanted to do. So it was wonderful to see my friends, to get to eat with them, to hug them. Like I said, it's like camp, and I love it. I got to room with Janet, which was a lot of fun, super chilled, super great, easy. Just go in and just live, go to the con. Wonderful experience. I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I have developed friendships that make me feel comfortable with being me. And it's not a mindset of, oh, what can I do for them? What can I do for them? Or even for them to be like, what can I do for her? What can I do for her? We do things for each other. We are there for each other. We hype up each other. We share, and we laugh. Oh, it's so much fun. I love them so much. So it was great to see them again. I do have to make a little bit of an effort to remain in contact, because I definitely was pretty bad about that the past couple months. But before then, I was always reaching out and stuff like that. But I'm going to do better. My friends that see this, I will do better. I promise. Now, also, this is something I hope I never have to stop saying, right? And it's my relationship with you two. When it comes to the people, because I know it's a big corporate engine, right? But the work that I have gotten to do with YouTube in panels, in conversations, in events, they really, for real, take care of me. They for real take care of me. They're so nice. They're so helpful. They're so communicative. They're so, albeit sometimes communication could be late, you could do a little better on that, YouTube, but nonetheless, like my partner manager, they look out for me. They truly do look out for me. Shout out to my partner manager. Shout out to Andy. Shout out to Lana. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Jake. If I have missed any names, I truly apologize because there's so many of you guys at YouTube. But the YouTube staff are always so awesome, so accommodating, so helpful, and so understanding. There's not this sense of ego where it's like, hey, I work at YouTube and you are just the talent and I'm no, it's nothing like that at all when I'm working with YouTube. It's always like, hey, we're both two chickens running with our heads out and we're just trying to make it through the situation. And they're really great, very communicative, and very open to having conversations and learning more about the creator experience and how they can improve it. And I love YouTube Down. Love YouTube Down. As a platform, locked in for sure. So shout out to the people at YouTube for sure for always taking care of me and making me feel valued, respected, which doesn't come super often in this industry. Okay. So the individuals I've worked with at YouTube have made me feel valued and respected. And that means so much. Okay. Now, the funny, the crazy, the weird. Let me start off with that Uber drive I was telling you about. So me and Janet on Friday, we had breakfast. We're like, hey, it's hot. We just took showers. We're not going to walk 15 minutes to go to the convention. Let's Uber. I'm like, all right, bet. That was her suggestion. I was like, yeah, all right, let's do it. So in her thing, it said Olga, and it had a picture of a woman in the Uber app. And it was, I forgot the type of car it was. I just remember it was blue. And first of all, the way that the person couldn't get to where we were at and just kept circling around was kind of weird. We're like, okay, it seems like they're driving off. They're coming back around. I don't know. And she's messaging them like, hey, because we're sitting out there waiting. We're watching them drive around. She's like, hey, we're right here. No response. She calls. The person declines the call. Tinted windows. So we're like, okay, girl, we open up the car door because we made sure the license plate matched when we finally got in the vehicle. Open up that car door. Tell me why there's a whole grown-ass man inside driving the car. Ain't no Olga in sight, okay? Olga wasn't in sight, all right? It was some man, all right? He had towels. Like you go to Walmart, Target, or, Home Goods and grab some towels on the seats, on the front, on the seat part and the back of the seat, on the passenger seat, towels. When we got in the car, me and Janet looked at each other like, I instantly called my husband because he has my location. I'm like, you got my location, right? He said yes. And I said that loud enough for the guy to hear. The guy was like, hey, are you guys from here? And I was like, yeah, we're from Dallas. I'm from Dallas. Janet's not from Dallas. Well, today we are. Okay. Because I'm like, at least it's close enough for it to not be like some weird thing. I was like, I'm not going to tell you I'm coming in from out of town. I didn't tell you that from another state, mind you. And I'm like looking at Janet and I texted Janet. I was like, I can't remember what I texted her. Either I texted her or I texted my husband. I was like, hey, keep our location on. And I was saying things to make it known. Oh, I had said, because I didn't tell the guy that my husband wasn't there. I was like, oh, he's watching the location to see when we get there. Like different things so that this man knew, if you thinking anything, this ain't the one. These are not the one. We're being tracked, we're being monitored. Do not. It was weird. It was hella weird. I was like, Olga look a little different. When we got out the car, I said, Olga look a little different. Okay. He didn't drive sketchy. It was just the car was sketchy and the fact that it was a whole ass man. That was sketchy. Because he's not Olga. The picture is a female in the app. The person we saw was a completely different looking man in there. So if anybody's like, oh, well, what if he's transitioned? Nope, that's not transitioning. Okay. It was a different person. Absolutely, completely different person. And not to mention towels on the seats. Don't Uber if you got to put towels on your seat, baby. Buy one of them seat protector things from Amazon that you just put that just sits on your seat, okay? Or wrap your seat or something like that. Not towels. Come on now. Nonetheless, that was weird. As far as a fun thing, your girl did splits. I was having so much fun at the YouTube competition panel, and I definitely had a lot of fun. And I got had to cut loose. And your girl was sweating by the end of it. I was definitely sweating by the end of it. Because when I put on all sorts of clothing on me. I had a button-down dress jacket. I had a cape. I had my hat. I had an afro. I had a tie on. I had a saxophone thing. And I was just like cutting loose and being a fool. And by the end of it, I was sweating. I was like, I turned to Jazz. Jazz was taking pictures and I was like, I'm dying. I need help getting out of this. And she literally had to help me get out of it on stage in front of people. So if anybody was waiting for her to take a picture and had to stop because she had to help me, I'm sorry. But I needed help, okay? As far as a crazy thing, let me tell y'all a story, okay? This story starts from last year. I've met Rio before. Last year, when I saw him at DreamCon, I was like, oh, how are you doing? And he's like, oh, I had a baby. And I said, really? And he's like, yeah, I had a baby girl. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. Now, I don't remember if he showed pictures or not, because I distinctly remember pictures, but I can't trust that really that part happened. But for sure, I was like, oh, that's so cute. How is she? Blah, blah, blah. All this other stuff, right? Truly, whenever I see anybody who's got a baby, I'm so happy for them. This year, after that championship panel, where I'm at the high of like, oh, we won. We got our championship belt. It's awesome. We won. Yay. Hallelujah. Off the stage, saying hi to everybody. You know, how much fun we're having. We're just in this moment of glee and happiness. Krista was back there too. And so was Rio. I was like, Rio, how are you? He's like, good. Christine, how are you doing? I said, I'm good. And then I said, how's your baby doing? Because I'm like, I remember you had a baby. I was like... I remember you had a baby last year. How is she doing? This man looked at me deadpan and was like, mind you, he should get an Oscar, okay? Rio, give him an Oscar. He said, she died. My heart broke, okay? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And I said, my condolences. And I literally said, can I hug you? And he's like, of course. So I gave him a hug. And I was like, I almost cried because I'm thinking of my daughter. And as a mother, like that's something you never want anybody to go through. Luckily, Krista was right there because no 2 seconds before tears were going to well up in my eyes did she say, Christine, he is lying to you. And I was like, what? At first I thought she was saying, oh, she didn't die. I was like, oh, so she didn't die? Chris was like, that man ain't got no kids. He ain't never had no kids. I was like, wait, what? I'm drooling. I was so in shock. I was like, wait, so there are no kids? Like, I was confused. And she was like, no, he doesn't have any kids. I was like, what? And I started hitting him. Every time I see him now, Rio, I'm gonna beat you up, okay? I'm gonna hit you a bunch of times. And I was just like, the way that the emotional roller coaster that I had gone through, first being happy to see Rio, then being happy to talk to him about his child, then him saying the child died, and then that whole like, oh my gosh, the heartbreak. And then it turned out the whole thing was a freaking lie. Lord. So he told me how he had talked to his chat before this. And his chat knows he doesn't have a kid, but he was saying to them, I don't know how to get out of it. The fact that I told people that I had a child. And he said his chat told him to say, oh, the baby died. And he was like, no one's going to believe it. I'm like, well, now you can tell them that I believed it, okay? Like, I was the victim who thought his baby had died. Thank you, Krista, okay, for letting me know what type of time he was on. All right. But that's a memory that's going to stick with me forever. Rio kept talking about, he reminds me of my little brother, where it's a couple of my brothers actually, where it's this mindset of like, they troll and then try to back it up with like endearingness. He's like, see, now we have this moment. He was like, we didn't have anything connecting us together. Now we have this bond that will connect us together forever. I was like, screw you, Rio. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. Now, do I think it's worth it to go to DreamCon? As a creator, yes. I would 1000% say yes. If you are a content creator, and I'm zeroing in on content creation because that is the purview I have. I did not go as a non-creator. So if you want to check out other people's POVs and their experience and the different echelons that they stood in and the intersections they stand in at DreamCon, definitely check them out. But as a creator, I would say yes, definitely yes. yes, it was wonderful to connect with other creators. I met new creators this year. I got to connect with new creators this year. I got to create content with new creators this year. So as a creator, it was a lot of fun. I feel like their security has done a lot better of a job when it comes to, who can access where. I remember in Arlington, like the security in Arlington was tripping, all right? They wouldn't let people who were supposed to be there, where they're supposed to be, all sorts of things. And I know that probably happened a couple times here, but for me, I had a really, really good experience at DreamCon this year. I definitely think it's worth it to go as a creator. So if you are a creator, you can sign up for that. Definitely do that. If you're like, hey, let me get your creator game up, and not to say that you have to have a lot of numbers, but at least produce a lot of content from now until, when they start reaching out for people to sign up as creators again, which I think might be December, January, typically is when they do that. But connect with creators for sure. Network with other creators if you can. I had such a wonderful time. It went by so freaking fast. And I enjoyed every minute of it, even with the crazy Rio thing. I had a wonderful time at DreamCon 2026. And, God willing, I'll be there again next year. It is something that I believe in, the aspect of having a safe space where people can just be. And I love it. Oh, one of the things that I had said at the convention, right? Because I've been to a few fan conventions. So Tampa Bay Comic-Con, PAX, VidCon. I've been to a couple other, GCX, I think is another one. So I've been to a few different ones throughout the years. And one of the things I could tell you is that this con don't stink, okay? Some people were asking people, hey, I bet it stink there. I bet all those people stink because it's hot, and gamers are not, well, I would say nerds in certain respects are not always known for being the cleanest, but that was not the case for us at DreamCon. I told my members this story, but I remember the first time I met Charlie was at a PAX South, back when they used to have them. And me, him, and this other creator we would play with played a game called Is It Food or Is It a Person? Because of the type of scents that we were smelling at PAX. Does not exist at DreamCon. Somebody had made the comment that maybe towards the end of the day you might smell something, and that makes sense because if people were out in hot weather, in lines, sweating and stuff like that, by the end, the last tiny bit of time, you may smell like a little oh, it's a little right. But stank? No, not at all. So for all those people who are like, oh, I bet it stank. No, it don't. They're like, oh, did it stink? No, it does not. If the fear of scent is keeping you away, don't worry about that. Come on down. All right. So that was my experience at DreamCon. Let me know if you went to DreamCon. If you want to go to DreamCon, what has your experience been? Let me know down below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and all the things. I love you guys as always. And until next time, ladies. Peace.